Denpasar, Bali on the alert for dengue. And what will Bali do about trash? Yes, more on trash, and there's also going to be something on traffic. Trash, traffic, and dengue. What else is new? Stay tuned for details on these and other stories. Selamat siang. Welcome to the latest news from Bali in Indonesia. This is January 5th, 2025, and my name is Bruce. And I think I got all that right. What is the weather like today? Well, it is cloudy and a little sunny. I mean, there's sun out. It's a sunny, cloudy day, let's say. And the temperature, 29.4 degrees Celsius at noon, and the humidity is 71%, and the wind speed is 8.4 kilometers per hour. Not a bad day, hasn't rained yet. Did rain last night, some, not a whole lot, but we're getting a little rain up here. Nothing like the huge torrential stuff that we had last week, but we still have a lot of time in the rainy season, and so you can expect more extreme weather in the coming weeks and months. Okay, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of reports about what has happened for the New Year's and Nataru period, the Christmas and New Year holiday period, and complaints from people in the tourism business here that business was off some, especially with domestic tourists, and that the popular tourist destinations had less people than usual, although at least one person attributed that to the extreme weather and people just not wanting to go out and sit in traffic while it was pouring and windy. Good idea. But I haven't seen any actual figures yet. I imagine there'll be some out soon detailing exactly how many people came compared to last year and compared to before the pandemic, say 2019. That's the usual. All right, a lot of stuff to do here, and let's get started. Denpasar, Bali on the alert for dengue. The Denpasar, Bali Health Department recorded 1,309 cases of dengue fever for the period January to December 2024. The monthly total of new dengue fever cases in Denpasar in 2024 was January 34, February 42, March 122, April 288, May 376, June 195, July 83, August 47, September 21, October 16, November 23, and December 62. The 2024 total was 15.6% higher than in 2023 when 1,132 cases were recorded. In 2024, 9 deaths were attributed to dengue fever. The head of the Denpasar Health Service, Dr. Anak Agung Ayu Chandrawati, told the press that officials are undertaking a program of fogging and door-to-door inspections to eliminate mosquito nests. People should be aware of the threat of dengue, and when symptoms are detected, they should undergo rapid testing, which is available at virtually all medical centers and hospitals in Bali. And what about the other one? What about waste? So we're going to have a couple of articles here on waste. Bali beach trash is worrying 4 ministers have to intervene. Piles of trash on the beach of the Bali southern coast are increasingly worrying. Every year, thousands of pieces of trash fill the beaches, especially after heavy rains. Kuta Beach, Kadonganan, Jimbaran, Seminyak, to Canggu are the worst locations. This phenomenon occurs every end of the year. It does. The acting governor of Bali explained that the cause of the piles of garbage on Kuta Beach and its surroundings every year are due to ocean currents that carry garbage from outside Bali, especially from Java, right? Blame Java all the time. We continue to encourage waste management that involves the community, the acting governor said. This was at a cleanup activity at Kuta Beach that was attended by the 4 ministers on Saturday. The 4 ministers who directly handled the waste on the beach, Coordinating Minister for Food, the Minister of Environment, the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, and the Minister of Tourism. The acting governor appreciated the central government's attention to the problem of waste in the Kuta Beach area. He said that Bali already has regulations related to source-based waste management that involves the community down to the village level. And there are lots of regulations in Bali and in Indonesia. That's really not the issue usually. The issue is what? putting them into practice. Minister Hassan stated that the problem of waste in Bali is a serious concern for the central government. In addition to disrupting tourism, this waste has an impact on the environment and the availability of seafood. If left alone, there could be more trash in the sea than fish, he said. Minister of Environment added that the amount of waste arriving on Kuta Beach increases during the west wind season, which lasts from October to March. The amount of waste in 2024-2025 is estimated to be higher than in previous years. This Kuta Beach cleanup activity was attended by 2,115 participants from various elements, including the military, police, students, communities, and social media activists. The event was also marked by the signing of a MOU between the Ministry of Environment and Ministry of Education for waste management education from an early age. Now, I remember when my children were in school, back in elementary school, and we're talking about back in the early to mid 90s, they already were getting lessons on the environment. This has been going on for a long time. Education about this is not something new. It's been going on. It's just that nobody does anything about it. In a coordinating minister led by Minister Hassan, acting governor said that Bali provincial government has built TPS3R, TPST, and implemented modern technology. However, these efforts have not completely resolved the problem. Not completely, especially due to excess capacity at the Sarbagita Suwung Regional TPA. We need central support. It's time for Bali to have waste management technology to become energy, and we talked about this months ago. The central government supports the waste management plan to become electrical energy based on environmentally friendly technology, and the Chinese were supposed to be doing this. The minister said the rules and budget for the program have already been prepared. Interagency cooperation will be accelerated, especially for tourist areas such as Bali. He added that cross-ministerial programs will be collaborated to solve the waste problem in Bali. We'll immediately form a special team to monitor cleanliness until April 25. He added that preventive and curative actions will be carried out throughout the coast and rivers in Bali. The government will also reactivate another team in accordance with the Presidential Regulation number 38. Meanwhile, Tourist Minister Widianti announced Bali as the main priority in the 2025 Clean Tourism Movement. This program aims to create a clean and comfortable tourist destination for tourists. There needs to be awareness from all parties, including the government, tourism managers, the community, and tourists themselves, in order to realize Clean Tourism 2025. The acting deputy for Destination and Infrastructure Development at the Ministry of Tourism, Haryanto, explained that this program involves the formation of a task force, another one, empowerment of tourist village communities, and education on waste management at tourist destinations. There's a lot of teams and a lot of studies that go on here, but getting things done takes a long time. And in a couple of stories that I'd mentioned earlier that I'm not really going to go into about people in the tourism business complaining about less tourists than usual, one of the things that was mentioned in a number of these articles, tourists complaining about trash and traffic, and mentioning, well, next time we're going to go to Thailand or Vietnam, some other place. I don't think I'll be coming back to Bali again. It's just so dirty, and it takes forever to get somewhere. And how long have we been hearing those stories? Okay, and one more on trash. Strictly, Suwung Denpasar landfill will be closed. Waste must be finished upstream. Minister of Environment, head of the Environmental Control Agency, is currently focusing on handling waste problems starting from upstream. We will guard the waste upstream. We have started to organize it. At the very least, the ministry will stop all final processing sites. Open dumping will be stopped, including Suwung, which we will close. He said this the other day when he was at the cleanup. Open dumping is a method of disposing of waste at the final processing sites, the TBAs, which is carried out by placing the waste in an open depression in the ground without being covered or covered with soil. All landfills are targeted to be closed in 2026. We will stop without exception, such as the Suwung TPA, which will be closed. Open dumping will be closed altogether. There's 306 TPAs in Indonesia, and they will all be closed. But waste must be finished upstream. Clean rivers need to be part of the culture, he said. Furthermore, Minister Hanif said that we need to change the culture starting from sorting waste at home, which is organic waste, inorganic waste, or hazardous waste. This should be mandatory. He said, then we will analyze it and immediately we will give it to the government to withdraw it, and together we will execute this program. So all programs will be synergistically in line. Don't worry, we will maintain it together. We will complete it as best we can. He added that he talked to the acting governor and they talked about strategy, including building waste processing into electrical energy, or PCEL. So we work together, most importantly, building a culture for the community here, said the Minister of Environment. And so a lot of programs, a lot of plans, lots of studies, lots of teams, lots of trash. Okay, so we've got dengue, we've got trash, and we've got traffic, right? And one of the things about traffic, drivers. And drivers, well, has been a very controversial subject for quite a while here. You know, people talking about the driver mafia, the taxi mafia. Well, now we have online transportation and conflicts between the traditional drivers and the online drivers has been going on. And in recent weeks, there's been several public fights between the two, and sometimes in front of tourists, which is, well, good advertising for the Bali brand of peace and love. 1,000 Bali tourism drivers will take action, demand restrictions on online transportation. The Bali Tourism Drivers Struggle Forum will hold a rally in front of the Bali DPRD office on Monday at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I wouldn't drive around there if I was you. Deputy Chairman of the Bali Tourism Drivers Struggle Forum said that the Bali Tourism Drivers Struggle Forum is an association and base for Bali drivers. They formed a platform to demand justice. This action was carried out to demand justice from the government, considering that the situation and condition of Bali tourism is not good, especially on the transportation side. He explained that before carrying out this action, the forum had written to several agencies, including the Bali Regional Police, the Bali DPRD, and other related parties. He further said that there were several demands, namely to limit the quota of online taxi cars and motorbikes in Bali, considering that Bali was already very congested, as well as regulating and reorganizing the existence of vendors or special rental transportation applications in Bali due to the lack of supervision regarding SOPs related to the services, foreign language, driving ethics, and traffic violations. Creating standardization and differentiation of tariffs for special rental tourism, especially in tourism zones. Demand the relevant parties to increase supervision of online taxis or vendors who use fake plates or double plates and unclear driver identities, he explained. Therefore, we ask that all tourism transportation drivers attend and provide support by bringing the red and white flag and pamphlets of demands for the sake of tourism and Bali that we love. The plan is that participants of this action will be 1,000 from all tourism drivers in Bali. And there have been demonstrations in the past about this. And, well, this is an issue. A lot of people like to use the online drivers. They say that they're cheaper and they're safer because you know who they are, and you're not going to get into a situation where, well, what they say is you're being extorted for money once you get into the car, and then the driver says, oh, by the way, you have to pay extra for that. We'll see what the results are of this demonstration tomorrow. And more on traffic. Traffic congestion in Bali is getting worse. Professor Rumawan highlights electric motorbikes. Owning a two-wheel vehicle is easy nowadays. By paying a down payment of only 500,000 rupiahs, people can easily buy a two-wheel vehicle. Yeah, down payment is really low. This certainly has an impact on traffic congestion in Bali. Professor Rumawan explained that in addition to private motorbikes that are rampant on the streets, there's also private cars that are increasing in number. Moreover, with the existence of online motorcycle taxis, many are now reinvesting themselves by taking car loans, taking passengers, and so on, so that there's a conflict with public transportation. Furthermore, Professor Rumawan said that unfortunately, once the government initiated the use of alternative energy, more electric motorbikes came to Bali at cheaper prices. And children use them, elementary school children in the villages. So what needs to be done now is to improve transportation management comprehensively and integratedly for Bali. There are several factors causing the density of vehicles in Bali, according to the professor. The professor said one of the causes of traffic jams in Bali is access connecting island to island, province to province, city to city, then cities to regencies. Almost all go through Denpasar city, and some of them mostly enter the city center. The professor emphasized that this concept should be abandoned. Why not divide it, for example, between islands to Lombok, for example, via Singaraja? All of that must be managed like that, or if not, a special road must be built, which in the future might be the Gilimanuk toll road. Apparently the professor doesn't know that we get a lot of inter-island traffic up here in Singaraja. In fact, right down here in front of my house, we have the huge trucks coming in from Java and going out towards Lombok, and they can't access the city center here, so they use these really tiny streets that come by here, then connect into the bigger road that leads out into Padang Bai. And so there is a lot of traffic, inter-island traffic, that comes up through Singaraja. The last thing we need up here is more. The professor continued that the streets of Denpasar city have become a melting point for all transportation actors, buses, trucks, tourist transportation, private transportation, and others. According to 2023 data, there are more than 4.5 million motorized vehicles in Bali, including motorbikes, which are an extraordinary number, especially considering the length and width of roads managed under the responsibility of the central government, provincial government, district, and city governments. And I think, as we all know, the roads are often in poor repair, especially this time of the year when you get this intense rain and you've got heavy trucks coming through here and big buses, and they are not good for the road. And that is it for today. Tomorrow, school opens up here, and well, good news for grandparents and parents. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Take care, and I will see you next time.